Guys, with the death of Yamoshi's son, all Frieza's plans ended, but he has an idea to use the Dragon Balls to revive Hercules and Hiroki, the evil Saiyans. Will his plan be successful? Well, let's see that now, but first leave your like. We'll hit 3,000 likes as soon as this goal is reached. I'll bring the next episode in the sequence, and of course subscribe to the channel. Well, that said, let's get started. In the 7th universe. Currently in the 7th universe, more precisely on a snowy mountain on planet Earth, it was possible to see Yamoshi sitting with a sad look on her face as she looked at the landscape of the snowy mountains. On Yamoshi's side, it was possible to see the sacred sword Excalibur that was embedded on a large rock next to Yamoshi. Yamoshi said, "It feels like now I've finally lost everything I ever had in my life in the past. I knew that I had already lost my husband and my son in the past, and it took me many years to get over all of that. But after so many years, Hiroki and Hercules returned, and even though I saw how bad they had become and knew the atrocities that they committed just to become strong, I still loved each of them, even though I said I didn't feel anything for any of them. I've never been a good liar to other people and much less to myself, but I still want to believe that all of this was the best thing I could have done. All of this was for the good of the 7th universe and not for my own good," said Yamoshi to herself as she looked at the landscape in front of her and remembered the past when she was happy with Hiroki and Hercules. Yamoshi said, "I remember back then during the cold times we liked to go to that snowy planet near the Saiyan planet. I always liked to enjoy the landscapes of the places I went, especially cold places like this, and I remember that at that time Hiroki would cling to me to keep me warm. I didn't know if he did that so I wouldn't feel cold, or if he did that just to keep grabbing me. That pervert never changed regardless of the time," Yamoshi said, giving a short laugh as she remembered the time when she and Hiroki were a happy couple, or at least appeared to be. These memories gave her a certain happiness. Yamoshi said, "I remember that after giving birth to Hercules, we started taking weekly trips to those beaches that were on the Saiyan planet. Since Hercules always liked going to warm places with a view of the sea, I didn't like it very much, since he always ate sand or drowned in the sea, and idiot Hiroki always laughed at these situations that drove me crazy," said Yamoshi, remembering the past where even though she was stressed with Hiroki, Yamoshi was happy since her family was incredible to her. Yamoshi said, "That time won't come back no matter how much I want it to, but at least I have my son Yamato. He and I don't spend much time together because I have to work as a goddess of destruction, so I don't have that much time to take care of him or create happy moments with my son Yamato. In reality, maybe Yamato doesn't like me, since the purpose of his birth was precisely to resolve my old issues. It's kind of ironic the fact that I had a son to be able to deal with my eldest son, and now maybe I don't have either of them because the eldest is dead and the youngest must hate me. Deep down, Yamato must not like the mother who had to drug her father Goku so that he could be born," said Yamoshi in a sad tone to himself. While the image of his 2 children came to his mind, Yamoshi thought he had already lost his 2 children for different reasons. Yamoshi remained in that place for long minutes while she let her mind wander, remembering all the memories that made her happy, some that she wished she had again, but wouldn't have since Hiroki and Hercules were dead, and even if they were alive, she wouldn't be able to have those moments, happy with any of them. After some time, Yamato ended up appearing behind his mother, who was so immersed in her memories that she didn't even notice the presence of her youngest son. Yamato thought, "Didn't my mother notice my presence? Even when I try to hide my presence, she manages to notice, and every time my mother notices my presence, she comes and hugs me, but this time she didn't do that. Dad told me that Mom's eldest son ended up being killed by Vegeta, and her ex-husband ended up being killed by Dad, so my mother must be sad. In reality, she is in a mix of sadness and happiness. Sadness because of the deaths of those she loved, and happiness because of the memories she had with Hiroki and Hercules," Yamato thought to himself as he looked at his mother and felt that Yamoshi was sad and happy at the same time. Yamato sighed and decided to sit on a rock and watch his mother, and when Yamoshi noticed that her son was there, he would try to comfort her or at least stay by his mother's side in that moment of sadness. On the shores of the 7th universe. Currently on the shores of the 7th universe, it was possible to see thousands of spaceships roaming the planets, conquering many and destroying some other planets, and in the largest of the spaceships was the much-feared Emperor. Frieza was in his base form, sitting in his chair facing a large screen which was showing the last battles against Hercules, something the Emperor loved to see as his main rivals were being injured by members of their own race. Frieza said, "These last battles were really interesting to see. In reality, I would say it was a pleasant program to watch. After all, I love seeing these worms facing each other, and seeing Goku and Vegeta being humiliated and defeated is a very fun and interesting to watch. Frieza said while looking at Goku and Vegeta's last battles, where the two Saiyans ended up being defeated and humiliated. Frieza said, "It was a wise decision to give some information to Hiroki and Hercules. Thanks to both of them, I had a good time laughing at Goku and Vegeta's misfortunes," Frieza said before bursting into a big laugh while the screen in front of him showed images of Goku and Vegeta defeated on the ground, something that always made the Emperor laugh. Frieza said, "I have to admit that I almost went after those two Saiyans to defeat them and ensure that Goku and Vegeta didn't become stronger than me, but giving tips to those two ancient Saiyans was the better decision. Thanks to that, I was able to have a good time, and not only that, but I was able to focus on my training to become stronger. At the moment, I don't know if I'm capable of facing Goku or Vegeta if they use that new Super Saiyan God transformation of theirs, not while I not fully master the power of my corrupted black form," Frieza said to himself as he looked at his hand and transformed into his black form, easily demonstrating his mastery over this form. But soon Frieza returned to his base form. Counselor spoke, "Master Frieza, if you allow me, I have an idea to give you more time to evolve before your future battle against the Saiyans known as Son Goku and Vegeta," said Frieza's advisor, attracting the attention of the Emperor, who was curious about what her idea would be. Frieza said, "An idea? You always give me good ideas or advice when I can't find a solution to my current problems, so what would be your idea to help me evolve?" Frieza asked, turning to his advisor and giving her his full attention, something very rare to happen. Counselor said, "In the past, you ended up being eliminated by the Saiyan known as Trunks, and then ended up being revived by the Dragon Balls, or at least its pieces, since you ended up being divided into thousands of pieces and then disintegrated by a key attack made by that Saiyan," the counselor said, remembering the time that Frieza was killed, and this made the Emperor angry, as Frieza did not like to remember his past defeats. Frieza said, "How about getting straight to the point? You should already know that I don't like it when people remind me of my old defeats," Frieza said with a calm expression and a smile on his face, but with a large nerve on his forehead showing that he was irritated. Counselor said, "You could do the same thing. Go after the Dragon Balls and bring one of these two Saiyans or even both of them back to life, or at least pieces of them. You could bring them back to life to face Son Goku and Vegeta. Hiroki and Hercules would buy more time for you to evolve and adapt to your own power," said the counselor, leaving Frieza surprised by the idea, which was actually very good. Frieza said, "That's a great idea. Those two are strong enough to buy time for me. Especially Hiroki, who I'm sure didn't use his full power against Son Goku. They could keep those two busy enough for me to get stronger and be able to put a definitive end to those two worms once and for all," Frieza said excitedly, and happy with the idea that his advisor gave. She gave a slight smile and bowed as a sign of respect to the Emperor. With that, we will end today's video. If you want to see the continuation of this incredible story, leave a lot of likes on the video and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So see you another day, guys.